Party people, welcome back to DWDNGTA. What I say, A. Can you tell I'm bored? I'm sure you can. Check the score on the gram. Let me stop. Hi, welcome back to DWD and GTA. I'm back with yet another build. Yep, another residential home. As you can tell, I am pooped out on commercial lots. I was supposed to finish Magnolia Promenade before I even went to the houses. Did you know that? You didn't know that. Because I didn't know that. Actually, I knew that. But I started chickening out because I was tired of commercial lots. Anyways, so we're back with another Mirror Park home. Don't you love Mirror Park? I love Mirror Park. A long time ago, I found this little yellow house that I thought was cute because it was tiny, and I love tiny houses. I'd gone past it a couple times, but the last time that I drove around it, I decided to take some pictures to bring in the game later. I took pictures of, the front of the house, the side of the house. I tried to take a picture of the yard, like on the right side of the house, but it was so cramped up in there, it was giving me a lot of problems. I had to pretty much jump on the gate to try to even, get a picture of it, but I kind of hurt myself a little bit. And I was going all around the house, but something just decided to happen to me this last time, and I don't appreciate it. So I just got off the fence from the right side of the house, and I'm trying to take pictures, right? This dude want to call me a mother F. A mother F. I was so confused and befuddled, right? All I did was try to take some pictures. He was sitting outside on the chair, and he decided he want to come fight me. I didn't even say nothing. So he's, trying to, coming up close to me, trying to hit the back of my head. So I had to jump the gate, right? So he he tries to go around the fence to try to get me. So I jumped back over the gate, right? And then he decided he wanted to come back. So I got sick of it, right? So I had to teach him a lesson. So I pulled his muffin cap back. Or is it peeled? I peeled his muffin cap back. And I got his ankles. Because he don't know what the heck is going on. I'm just trying to take pictures of the house. What you think, I'm like collections or something? That don't make no sense. Anyways, so after I peeled his muffin cap back and knocked them ankles crooked, I went back to taking my pictures while we were waiting for the ambulance to show up. I know it's ambulance, but While we was waiting for the ambulance to show up, I took the rest of my pictures because he had me messed up. I didn't like that. Like, I'm trying to be a good citizen. So anyways, I take pictures of that back side of the house. I take pictures of the yard. And then I go about my business, go in the game, and do my thing. So at first, I thought I would do this build in Willow Creek, in this specific neighborhood on Bridge Street. But it don't end up staying there. But I'll keep this footage anyway, because what do I look like rebuilding a place just because I moved it somewhere else? That doesn't make sense to me. No. Don't worry about the house on the right. I'll show you what that is later, but technically it's already built and already on the gallery. I'd have to showcase it to you anyways. So I'm working on the outside, trying to get a general frame for the house. I started off with half walls again, but once again, I did not like it. It just didn't feel right to me. So I eventually end up changing it out with something else. Yeah, I end up going into debug and finding some brick walls again. This might very well even be the same brick wall from earlier with that other house that belongs to Mabel, 8446. Yeah, it might very well be the same brick. So I take the brick wall and those posts, move them all around the perimeter of the home, of course, except the front. Technically, I think the right side of the house has a completely different color. It's not that brick. But I wasn't gonna put anything else in its place because it looked tacky. Because complete accuracy is not always It doesn't always make sense in this game because the houses aren't stuck together and we can't move the houses together for me to make it look completely authentic. So this is the best I could do with what I had. Then from there, I decided to add in the paving or the flooring, whatever. I don't think I found one that was close enough to what they had outside because it had a lot of random cracks in it. But I did the best that I could. After that, I add some wallpaper to the walls, trying to see what looked the most yellow, I guess. Now that I think about it, I don't know if the house is actually yellow. I mean, it'll look kind of yellow, kind of, but it's more of a light brown. Yeah, this is the closest to yellow that we're gonna get. I add the roof, more like a general roof because I have to go in and fix it later. And I let this go for, I want to say months before I picked it up again. I only picked it up, last week? I don't even remember when I actually started building this because I renamed it. And then from there, I save. No, actually, I go in, add a door, do a little something to the floor plan, and then I save. Oh, child, I forgot. I added the windows too. These are the first edition of the windows that I add. And honestly, I don't know what the heck I was thinking with these windows at first because these windows don't go that well with the house. I don't know what I was looking at. Because it's not like I don't know where this house is. I know where this house is. I just, I guess, had a lapse of judgment at that time. So yeah, I'm going to finish up adding these windows and I think save for that portion before I have to move the build somewhere else, because while I was planning out the worlds, I decided that I didn't want the house there anymore. Now, this is a whole nother day, probably last week from when I'm talking to you. And I go in and add a little bit more details. So I noticed that on the, I guess, left side of the build, that there was some grass hanging out the house. So I went on, used, was it Better Build By? I had just got it at that time. I got Better Build By and decided to play around with it. I don't think I'm going to get rid of this mod. I don't think so. Because now I figured out at least the basis of how it works. And I definitely love it. From what I hear, it used to make your houses be marked as CC, but it doesn't do that anymore. So I'm happy about that. I found in debug patches of grass, but it was kind of like wild grass. And I thought that would be perfect. So I decided to take them, size them down, and have them going throughout the yard just for that extra realism effect. I think now that I'm thinking about it, that there are nicer patches of grass, but technically when I visited that lot, the grass wasn't well kept. From here, I think the last things I did to the outside were extend the roof in the front. I had to do that. Add some columns and put a plant outside in the front yard and in the backyard. Oh, and also I went in, changed some of the windows and added a hot tub and a chair. Now we're inside working on the inside of the house. Finally. It took me a while to get through this part. So what I'm going to do is read through some of my notes, but let me talk about the kitchen first before I read through my notes. In good notes, I had a completely different idea for the kitchen. It didn't come out as planned because the way the house is set up, the windows are too long. So when I put the counters across, they kind of covered the windows, and it doesn't make sense for you to look into a house and you can see like a piece of the countertop. It didn't make sense, and I didn't have a shorter window, so I just changed plans at the last minute. But anyways, a little bit more about this home. This is actually a rental. So it's not meant for anybody specific. It's meant for if you want to visit Willow Creek, you have a place to actually go. I intended for it to have super basic colors. And when I say basic, I mean basic. Your whites, your grays, your creams, and then a little bit of green. Yeah. So it has basic appliances plus a hot tub. Those are the only real amenities that you get. You don't get, a computer. You don't get internet access. You do get a little radio though. It's owned by a rich person and it's meant to be passive income. But this is one of those rental units where they didn't care about the kinds of appliances and furniture and stuff. They didn't upgrade it and deck it out to the nines to try to make it a super nice place for you to stay. It's meant for you to have just enough so you don't go without. I'll say that. There are no family pictures because it's not meant for a specific family. The style is meant to be kind of clean, crisp, I guess. I wrote in a note for myself to not over decorate. So I didn't decorate a whole lot, but I did leave little things for you to entertain yourself. Minimalistic styling and then basic paintings and art pieces. Yeah, those are the notes for this lot. This is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And when I say 2-bedroom, I'm saying that pretty loosely because this is the owner's suite, right? But the second room is a lot smaller than this room, but it's not meant for a whole lot of people to come visit. It's not meant for a big old family to go on vacation to Willow Creek. It's meant for a small group, 3 max, unless you have like 2 best friends that can sleep in the same bed together and then like an extra person. Anyways, I'm working on this bathroom right here and I tried to put something in the corner. I think I ended up putting a shelf, but I don't think I kept that. I had to move it around. But yeah, this bathroom is very sterile, very white, not much colors going on. And yeah, I don't like it because the toilet is right underneath the window and I don't like the way that looks at all. So I'm going to that room on the side. Do I have a, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know, I might have had a laptop in here somewhere. I don't know, at some point I did. But yeah, from here, I decorated this room with the Dream Home Decorator pack, I think. And this has some color with like the browns. I think I ended up switching it back to the browns. I had to find a place to put the closet and stuff, not closet, dresser. I had to find a place to put the dresser, but I switched the room around just a little bit because stylistically it wasn't working for me. I still wanted to have something going on with this build, even though I said that I didn't want a whole bunch of decorations, because even when you go visit somewhere or you have like a rental or something, it's still slightly decorated. So I had to do something. With this dining area, I kept that pretty much bare too. Now I have this table with these 6 chairs, but it actually didn't make sense to me thinking about it because 6 people can't even really fit in here unless you're having a party. It's not meant for 6 people to sit there and stay aside from a party. So I ended up changing the table. And then over here, I had a end table, but I decided to move it to the front. And in the front, I added I think an umbrella rack. And in the back, I don't know if I showed it on camera, but I added a coat rack in the back too, even though it probably should have been in the front. With this living room, I think the hardest thing for me was trying to figure out what color palette I wanted to go with and what carpet I wanted to choose. So I left that, came back, added a carpet to the dining area. I grabbed these Dream Home Decorator couches and I think, did I stick with blue? I don't know, but I feel like I was kind of playing with the idea of blue, but I might have changed it to white or cream. You would think I didn't do this last week. I'm not exactly sure, but I was trying to make it look like a model home. Like, you know how model homes look when you visit them, when they build new subdivisions and stuff like that? They try to make it a neutral kind of style, but modern, and they don't add too many personal touches. That's the idea I was going for this place. I wanted it to look like a model home. So I think I like this rug. And I decided to change the color of the furniture to kind of complement the rug. I went in and changed the light. I added in a light from, what is this? Desert Luxe. I'm not gonna lie, Desert Luxe is really nice. Really, really nice. And I'm happy that I got it for the free because actually it took me a while to even redeem that pack, because when I was playing in season 2 of the LP, I was playing on a very old game. Very, very old. I hadn't updated since the Werewolves pack. So from there up until, I think it was like the last day or the last 2 days before you could still get Desert Luxe for free. I think that was the 17th too. So I probably updated on the 15th or the 16th. Lord, look at me telling y'all my secrets. Yeah, so I waited until the very last second to get it, and I don't regret it. Now, I probably would have paid $5 for it, but the fact that I didn't have to, that was nice. I went back into this little room because I wasn't feeling the style that it had before. Like, I didn't like this end table. I liked the bed and I liked the desk, and that was it. So I found another end table, and this one kind of acts as a closet too. So it works double time. I added a lamp and a clock. I don't know why it took all this time for them to add a clock to the game that could sit on the, dresser. But I'm glad we have one now, but that one's kind of childish. I would like a regular one. Like, you remember the ones from, if you're old enough, like the early 2000s, where they had that noise? You remember that? I wish we had one of those where it's just like a rectangle and it had like the red letters on it. And that just be it, because I don't like that big old grandfather clock. I'd like to have a clock on the side. Now that I'm thinking about clocks. Oh, by the way, I grabbed these pictures off the gallery. I don't want to be, remiss and not mention it. But I grabbed these pictures off the gallery from my favorite gallery painter person, Catatron 16. So I'm laying them around the house. And yeah. Anyways, back to my idea. Wouldn't it be cool if you could have an alarm clock, right? Like a functional alarm clock in game. I don't know if anybody has a mod for it, but you could like click on it, set your alarm, right, for a certain time, and it actually goes off based on the time in the game. Wouldn't that be so cool? Instead of having to wake your Sims up, like say they gotta go to work or say they have to go to school, and you set the alarm clock, and then, you hear the beep, beep, beep. Like, that would be cool. That's like a cute little touch that they could do. Like how they have the everyday clutter kit coming out. They could have like everyday tasks stuff pack, if stuff packs are even existent anymore. But that was just my idea. If anybody wants to make a mod, go ahead and do it, because I don't know how to make one. So yeah, I feel like that'd be cool. Anyways, I'm at the owner's suite bedroom, or the main bedroom. I decided last minute that I wanted to change the dresser out and replace it with the Dream Home Decorator one. It kind of brings continuity between this room and the other room, because that other room has a lot of Dream Home Decorator stuff in it too. So it feels like there you go, cohesion. There you go. It gives the air of cohesion. So I changed the dresser to this. I don't know if I changed the bed. I cannot recall. And then I added little pieces. I went back into the gallery and found these city maps. I think that's what they were called, from Catatron 16. And then I put them down to try to add a little bit more flair, because it felt boring up there. Like, I wanted to have minimal paintings and stuff like that, but I kind of loosened up that restriction on myself because I still wanted it to look interesting, inviting. Because if it has nothing on it, it almost feels like a move-in ready home, and I don't want it to feel like a move-in ready home. This is just a rental. So I think at this point, I decided to go back and fix the windows, which I'm happy about, because it wasn't making sense. I don't know what the heck I was thinking about when I first put the windows down, but it made no sense. So I went back in with them snowy escape windows. I swapped them out, and then I think I installed High School Years by this time. And you know that window that you can like jump out of? I decided to take that window because I realized it was perfect. It was the perfect window that had the line going like down the middle or across the middle or whatever. So it matched up with the house way better than any window that I had before. So I replaced all those funky looking windows. Yeah, those right here along this wall with that window because it looks so much better. That's like the best thing to come out of the high school years pack for me as far as building goes. Okay, so I'm back inside. I think I'm trying to switch up the curtains to make them look a little bit better. And I found different curtains and just put them along different sides of the room. Now that I'm looking at the paintings that are in the living room, I wish there was a way that I could add the frame from build mode. That's too much to ask though, because I'm not gonna, I'll take what I can get. I will take what I can get as far as that goes. I'm nearly finished though, because there's not a whole bunch I can do. I went in and I changed the back door and I decided I wanted to add like some kind of stepping, pavement, stones. I'm not sure what the heck they are. It's like a step down, kind of like that. So I went all through, I think, live edit mode, trying to find something that can kind of emulate a step down. I found one and then I lined them all around the platform that's outside. I went off and added a chimney. Oh, I didn't notice the first time that the house had a little chimney. So I decided to put one up there for detail purposes. And then one of the very last things that I do is go in and fix up the backyard. I realized the first time that I put way too many trees back there and I wasn't even thinking about placement. Now I don't have any trees that have thin trunks, stumps, whatever. So I just took those and put them back there. And then I wanted to continue the grass idea in the backyard because when I was taking the latest pictures of the house, I noticed that there was a little bit of overgrowth in the backyard. Now, I don't know if you were thinking this, but I'm thinking, why would somebody who's looking to rent out a place leave overgrowth of grass? We're going to say that they just didn't get around to it. And they don't care a whole lot about the grass. They cut it like, I don't know, once every 2-3 weeks. Something like that. Because what they're doing is they're always renting the house behind somebody. So there's always somebody in the house. So they come in, they clean the living room and stuff, and that just be it. So now we've reached the end of the build, and I'm going to read off the description. The description is as follows. This is a rental property perfect for a small group that wants to test out the quaint environment of Willow Creek. Just be sure to pay the fees on time because the owners of this property have no problem calling the police on you. Enjoy the Airbnb. XO AprilBaby321. We keep it short, simple, and sweet out here. So, allow me to show you some pictures. This home is called 1692 East Mirror Drive. That is 1692 E period Mirror DR. This house is a 30 by 20 lot, has 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and is valued at 36,251 simoleons. It is perfect for the renter in you. Thank you so much for coming to DWD in GTA and listening to me ramble like you always do. I may see you next week. I'll see. I don't know. I don't know how many episodes this thing is going to have before I take a break. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll do something bigger. I don't know. I will see you next time for another build. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Bye.